Howdy, everyone, and welcome back. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who has subscribed and watched videos and commented and liked, and those who just simply haven't, who's just been simply viewing my channel. A couple of videos ago, we celebrated 42 subscribers, and as of right now, we're at 81 subscribers. So we're growing and we're doing well. So again, that's humbling, and I want to say thank you for that. Last night, I got another chance to record a collaboration with Eric from One Clue Short of a Treasure, and that dropped last evening. Hopefully you guys have seen that and been able to get some thoughts about that. Feel free to comment away and share and all those things. But I wanted to get to this video, which is another logic-based video. I think generally speaking, I'm going to try to do a few logic-based videos and then maybe throw like a random location at you like I did with the Garden of the Gods video, which was my last video. Just a couple observations I made. I'm not necessarily suggesting that the treasure is definitely there. To be fully transparent with y'all, if I was very confident in a place, I would likely not. No, I would not share it in a video. That's for sure. I would book a plane ticket and trip, and you would see me out there. But I would probably not put it in a video. Not to say it can't be at Garden of the Gods. I just use that as an example for several compelling things I found for that general area. But without any further comments, the title for this logic-based video, if you will, is How Might Justin Intend for Searchers to Make Progress from Clues in the Beyond the Map's Edge book? And admittedly, this is something that I genuinely struggle with since day one of this hunt, after I watched on Netflix, and even just to try to find clues in Netflix to the current day, a year later, when we're almost at the Secret Summit. But what is a clue and what is not a clue? And how are we supposed to be able to narrow down what may or may not be a clue from all the things that are in the book? And Justin says there's no intentional red herring, so then you could theoretically imply that every single connection you can make in the book might be a clue. But in what ways has Justin added clues into Beyond the Map's Edge, and how are we supposed to utilize those? This all comes from a comment on my last video where Jenny from Mysterious Writings raised the question, and I paraphrase it a little bit, but did the clues in Beyond the Map's Edge that are found in the stories of the book help lead you to a location to use the poem, or to correct interpretations of the poem lines, or possibly both? And again, this is kind of thematic about my struggles. Like how do I know what is a clue? How do I know what clue points to an area versus what clue is supposed to guide me through the book? You know, Justin says you use Netflix and Netflix will help guide you in the book. So that would imply that at least, half of this question or statement is true. And then we can also imply that for when Justin says that there are areas in the book or places mentioned in the book that will help you understand the general areas or landscapes, that the second part could also be true. So therefore, we could all assume that both of those could be true. So this one I'm going to break up into the first item being a thing, the second item about how it relates to the poem, and then the third section about the place. So as you can see at the top, do the clues in Beyond the Map's Edge that are found in the stories of the book help lead you to a location to use the poem at? So these are all snippets of the book, if you will. And what I want to start with is, first on our path came the fallen cottonwood, once a towering sentinel of the golf course. And sentinel, I think, as I stated before, just mean one of the definitions is that it can guard something. And in the poem, we see from this part of the book, while the cottonwood offered moments of quiet wonder, both quiet or silence, and both in the poem, what followed set our hearts racing. And then the place we could possibly attach it to, again, just an example, I'm not saying it's here. Sentinel Creek happens to be in Yellowstone, so if you're on the camp of it being versus not being in Yellowstone, that's your decision to make. But Sentinel Creek is mentioned as one of the places in Justin's list of areas within Yellowstone that he wants to go look. But it's never talked about again at all in the book that I can see. So why does he feel the need to put in Sentinel Creek but never talk about it again? A lot of the other places in that list are talked about. I mean, a few of them are not, but most of them are. So why does he include Sentinel Creek? I mean, if you go look it up, it is a legitimate place in Yellowstone. It connects to the Firehole, which is south of the confluence between the Madison, the Firehole, and the Gibbons. So I can see why, if the Firehole is obviously a warm body of water and maybe the Sentinel Creek is not, I could suggest where warm waters halt, or possibly even waters halt flight. So that's kind of what I would attune to something in the book, tying into the poem, and also having a suggestive place to go look. That's kind of the thought process or the logic or the connections you would make to thread those things together, if you will. The next section here, I'm just not breaking up, is just several different examples, but do the clues and beyond the map's edge that are found in the stories of the book help lead you to correct interpretations of the poem lines? So just these are just a few examples of things that are in the poem and also that might help you better understand potentially what the poem lines mean if you're confused, which a lot of us unfortunately probably still are, including myself. So as I continued my straight line march, Tucker zigzagged around me in wide arcs. We've also heard in previous and recent interviews, he said like the full arc experience of the treasure hunt or different arcs that you could take or different frequencies, kind of things like that. So this is suggestive of possibly arcs meaning that. Another example, I think he's talking about the Madison here, a place where brotherly bonds have been forged in the river water and where ancient secrets might still whisper from beneath the current endless song. And that's ancient gates, secrets of the past to hold. Those are kind of things that are in the poem, obviously, and that are also here in the book. So maybe that is how you could possibly interpret those two items. The last one is something I've always found interesting. Again, the Madison River is kind of a thematic experience in this video, if you will. The Madison gives up her browns, being brown trouts, with generous grace. And to my best recollection, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. This is the only time that he refers to a body of water as a her or a female in the entire book. So, he also mentions, I believe, the bride once or twice. So he mentions kind of things that are possibly related to or maybe the bride, but this is the only idea that I have for him mentioning a body of water or waters as her. So I thought that was intriguing. So the next section is, do they do both? So is it both a place and also something that would tie into the poem to where you could then maybe go out and look? And again, these are just examples. Agree or disagree, that's your own discretion. The Madison churned beyond the wall of pines that had grown up around us, its constant flow of metronome, barking the years of our quest. Like that river, my obsession had carved its own channels through time. And to me, that is suggestive of, can you find what lives in time and like a river's steady flow? I think both of those things are perceivably mentioned, here. So that's one of the things that I thought was a connection to both the place and something in the poem. The next one is Black-tailed Deer Creek became my personal classroom in the art of patience, which is, I could argue, is wisdom. Those fishing waters, not water, waters taught me more about life than any textbook could. About hope, about the quiet thrill of possibility. Each cast was a story waiting to be told, each ripple a whispered secret from the depths. So there you have several examples of items or similar items or phrases, words that are in the poem that also point to Black-tailed Deer Creek. And I know that both the Madison, for those Yellowstone believers, and Black-tailed Deer Creek have been searched. So I can see why people would make those connections and want to get out there and do so. The last area is Crystal Park, and the book reads, our real treasures were found in Crystal Park, where we learned how to hear and understand the rhythm of the land we derive after each downpour when the soil, newly washed, revealed its bounty, the smell of pine and wet granite mingled in the air. And of course, we know double arsenal granite bold. You can also inject, we talk about, I believe, is the Grandpa's Posy, and the postal pilgrimage is granite silence. Again, just examples of words in the book that also show up in the poem. I guess that's it. Kind of a shorter video today on this one, but I mean, generally speaking, that's the question at hand, and that's again what I've struggled with, and what I feel like a lot of people have probably struggled with is, what is a clue in Justin's book, and what is not a clue, and how am I supposed to interpret it? Is it something that's supposed to help guide me understand the poem or get a better understanding of Justin? He talks about postal pilgrimage and posies on the road being a deeper message he was trying to convey. And then obviously, is it tied to a place or both? And I think that's where I and others continue to struggle. So that's what I wanted to raise a little bit of awareness and observation to you all in this video. Again, it is a little bit on the shorter side. I'm trying to talk a little bit more, so it goes to 10 minutes. Just kidding. But I mean, last reminder, if you will, If you haven't been to Seeker Summit, I encourage you to go. It seems like it's going to be an awesome time. I think like every other day something new pops up about what's going to be going on and who's going to be showing up at the Seeker Summit. And again, thank you, Jenny from Mysterious Writings, for not only your contributions to the Seeker Summit, but also being supportive and encouraging of not only myself and my channel here on the YouTube. So thank you for that. But thank you, everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Appreciate it.